What else do we have to do? Okay. And I think that the last thing on this is the technical part, and the only part that's a little difficult is perhaps adding the sample of your output, which was to play with the tool. So let's look over here. On your tool page, complete the following. Now this stuff, you can just edit your blank page and however you want to organize it. We'll let you be as creative as you want to be on that. You know, if you want to create your own table for organization's sake and then describe your tool, you know, put the question on one side and the answer on the other side, you can do that. Or you can just put the question and the answer underneath it. However you want to organize it, we're giving you the freedom to do that. So you'll be describing your tool, telling what it does. You'll be talking about how it might be used with a particular age or grade level. Hey, I'm an elementary school teacher, and maybe if I did something with PowerPoint or the kids did a PowerPoint, you know, we could use this to display and whatever it would be. And I'm talking about my SlideShare. Give an example of a project that for that age or grade level group. So if we had kids create their PowerPoints, then we could put them all on SlideShare to be able to showcase to their parents. Maybe we create our own class wiki that we restrict access only to students and parents so that we don't have to worry about copy or privacy issues. So then provide a sample of something you did with the tool. You need to actually create something with the tool. So I will show you. I'm going to go to SlideShare and I'm going to show a sample on my SlideShare page of something that I created using SlideShare. And then the next thought is, what are some of the considerations when you're using the tool? You know, is it something that's really good and maybe accessible for disabled students, or maybe a good tool for special needs kids? Is it going to be a bandwidth issue? And if you don't know what bandwidth is, guess what? Don't answer that question. Is there any required tools or equipment needed? So you want to answer those. Are there privacy issues? So again, you're using wikis and kids. Yeah, it becomes a privacy issue if you open it up to the world. But the beauty of wikis and blogs is that you can restrict them. So copyright issues, etc. So, and then lastly, you know, we're going to give this the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Is this a recommendation? Is this a tool you would use or recommend? Why or why not? If you notice, you know, in the Web 2.0 environment, reputation and ratings are hugely important. And I think many of you, especially in the 20-ish range, you know, rely heavily on your peer evaluations of things, whether it's a book, whether it's an album, or whether it's a tool. So we want to follow suit with that. So that's how we do that. And let me show you then quickly how to give to provide a sample of something you did here in letter D. So this is the one thing that I think my instructions weren't perfectly clear on in writing, but I did talk to my class, and I know Dr. Hayner could probably use a little help on this. So let's go back to my SlideShare, and here's what I want to show you. So when I go to the Easy Edit, so again, now it's my option. I can go, okay, question A, you know, blah, 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 and then I can answer, etc. You know, if I didn't want to do that, one of the things I think is cool when I use this, I like adding tables. The reason I like adding tables is because they keep things really organized. So if I go to this table tool, let's say, you know, we've got an issue of a question and then an answer, right? So for myself, rows doesn't matter to me, columns is most important. So 4 rows is fine. Actually, we could do a row for each of the questions, right? Table width, if you do 1,000, that should take up the whole space. Cell margin's fine. Now, here's what's cool too. Table style, I could do absolutely no border, so that only I know that it is a table. So watch this. I'm gonna add this little table. So you notice here, it's the dotted lines, meaning that it won't show up visually. It's only showing up when I'm in edit mode. So if I click it here, question A, you know, here's the question, excuse me, or question, all right, and then I tab over here, and I put the answer, right? I could do that. Now, which I think it was letter D, wanted to know a sample of what, right? So watch this. So I go over here, how about I don't spell answer correctly either, all right, S-W-E-R, okay. So now here's the only part that I want to make sure everybody understands. So I'm going to create a sample of work. Boy, not really good speller, am I? Don't tell my daughters. Okay, so over here now, I want to add a sample of a SlideShare project. So this is something you may not be familiar with. So here's what I want to do. Look up here, look at all my options. If it's just something that was a photograph, like a JPEG that I created, I can upload the photo that way. If it's a video I created, I can upload the video that way. But if it's something else, something that maybe I want to embed, and I'm not sure how many of Dr. Hanner's students are familiar with that, but it's something that we do on our class blogs. We embed almost everything we do. So I'm going to go to this widget here, this widget creator. And notice there's a bunch of built-in widget things. I can quickly embed a Google Calendar, a YouTube video, etc. Well, SlideShare I don't see. PhotoBucket, slideshows, iMemes, Zmaps, yada yada, and they keep adding more and more and more. But notice, so we get to this place that says Other Widget. Well, SlideShare wasn't on there, but I know I've got I can get an embed code from SlideShare, so I'm going to choose this Other Widget. And notice it's ready for my code. So let's go back to SlideShare. And let's go to My Slide Space. My Slide Space. Here we go. Okay, and let's say I'm going to add this PowerPoint Spring PowerPoint. So I'm going to click on this. And this, if you had used this tool, you would have had to have uploaded this. And notice that, what do I want to do here? Okay, I look on this, I can share it, favorites, download, group events, etc. I've got all these Blogger, WordPress, Twitter. I can send it to Facebook for all you Facebookers. But hey, over here's what I want. I want this embed code. So I'm going to copy this code. And almost everything we do is going to have an embed code. So I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to paste that embed code. And I'm going to add that widget. And I have the option of making this widget bigger by using the plus key, or making it smaller by using the minus key. So let's do that. And then I'm going to click, that size looks perfect. And I'm going to click done. And oh my gosh, it still looks like the widget thing that I started with. Well, you know what? We have to save in order to apply these changes. So watch this. Hopefully it falls right in the world. So now notice I use that table that helped me organize my questions and answers, but the person's just watching. It's like, wow, this person has an amazing eye for spatial quality, which I have zero eye for spatial quality, but that table helped me do that, and I hit it, so it allowed me to paste that in there. So notice I've got an output of what I did. And this actually, I think, is only 2 slides. 1 slide, 2 slides. So, and then it takes me back here. But I've done what I needed to do. I've shown my work. So let's go back to the home key. I think there's one last thing we need to be able to do.